everybody? This is the Mad Reaper. I'm just going to do a quick video on how I do my packaging, fitting the blisters into the bubble, and all you need is a pair of scissors. These are all available on Figure Giant. You guys should just save your bubbles from your new action figures. But just for the sake of this example, I'm going to do a Rey Mysterio inside a Dean Malenko bubble, and you can see that it won't fit. So this should be pretty straightforward, but I'm still going to have to do a video on it. So here I'll show you guys the best way to do it that I've found is to line it up on top of this, because really that's going to be your frame. And then if you can line up your frame to where you want, I usually try to, so the big thing is I try to not have to cut completely either the top or the bottom, just because I feel like it fits a little better. And so let's see here. Let me go ahead and line it up like that. So for this figure, it's going to be of a custom, and we're going to include an extra belt and an extra mask. So I kind of like that framing there. It's like classic action figure type pose. So I'm going to leave the top there. I'm going to trim down the sides, and I'll cut some of the bottom. So what I'll do here first is keep it at that. I'm kind of going to eyeball it here about where I need to cut. So for my packaging, I'm going to cut on the inner corner of this. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. It's not a perfect science. So I'm going to do my best to cut in a straight line. Damn it. I don't mean to make everything look easy, but just practice. There we go. Cool. So that's one side down. It's upside down. Let's see here. So we're going to cut this down, but we're going to cut this down last. So I kind of just eyeball it again. You know, I look at where this inner, this topmost plastic piece is going to be. And I'm going to cut down here, and I'll kind of line it up with this, and yeah, we'll cut it from there. Let me double check this. So sometimes I'll even do this. I'll go down like that, just to at least give me a little reminder of where I need to be. So make sure your scissors are sharp too, otherwise this won't be very fun. And you know, the big thing is if you do it really choppy, your plastic's gonna be a little weird. But see, this is fine. This is okay. We can see it'll fit in there now. So I'm gonna cut off the bottom. Talk today. Okay, so I think, well, here, let me see. I feel like the additional belt may look cooler on the bottom than it would on the top, but I think we'd also have some room for it. Oh man, that's tough. I'm gonna go ahead and normally I would go for the top, for the bottom, because normally when I do my cards I have a front card, and the measurements that I do are 5x5 because I fold it 2.5, 2.5, and then the back is 6x9. You guys, it's really easy. Just get the package in your hand, measure it. I design my own cards. You know, learn how to graphic design. Otherwise, hire an artist. But here we go. I'm going to go ahead and frame it at the top because the packaging I'm using has a name up top here, so I want to be able to see as much of that as possible. So I'll go ahead with the original plan. The hesitation there is trying to figure out how the additional accessories are going to go, or where they're going to go. So I'm just going to cut it right here. Alright. Perfect. And then boom. Okay. So sometimes I leave this in here because when you put the card in and you fold that, that kind of acts as a little bit more of a pressure to keep the bubble or the blister pressed up against the front. Lately, I haven't been because my cards have been more perfectly cut, so I don't like having the excess and having to tuck it in. And I don't want my customers to have to tuck it in every time either. And that's the whole point I've made this display packaging. I mean, my figures are hundreds of dollars, and I don't know anyone who'd want to display a $200 figure loose. Or I mean, I do, but I don't. So I made figures for myself first. Okay, I really like that. Now I'm going to envision where the mask is going to go. This side is looking a little bare, so I'm going to put the additional mask there. And then I'm going to put the additional belt, I think, over here. I think if we can make it loop, that it'll be nice to go over here. So the additional belt is going to be something that's like this, just as a placeholder. So I think if we have an additional belt here, we'll be able to store it right around here. This is a fun part because you get to decide exactly how you want your action figure to look. Let's go ahead and cut out the mask here. What I'm going to do for things like a mask, like a real cloth mask that will go on, what I do is cut a little nub so that way I can put the mask on it and then kind of like put it on like a plastic little mannequin head, so to speak, and it can just stay on there. So my marks with my X-Acto are pretty crude because it really depends. I'm going to go a little deeper, but you can see, like, if this was your mask, if this was a little bit wider of an opening, you'd be able to put it in there and it would stay. So that's the point in a lot of these plastic accessories. That's the tough part of making accessories. None of these blisters are going to fit perfectly, so you're going to kind of have to improvise. You might not be able to see me cutting this, but I'm just making it a little deeper. There we go. So that's where the mask can go. And then I'm going to go ahead and make this for the belt. So the mechanics of it is that the belt's going to have to loop around. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 lines here. Don't cut yourself. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do this because I think with this it will be enough to go ahead and secure it. But I'm also going to give it a little bit more leeway. I hope watching this makes you guys as nervous as it does. Makes me as nervous as it makes me cutting it. Damn it. Don't cut towards yourself. Come on, man. You guys call me mad for a reason. Alright, there we go. So I think also, if you're like under 18, don't use an X-Acto. This is dangerous. I had one when I was a kid stab into my foot. It wasn't fun. Blood all over the bed and everything. It was terrible. So I think for a belt, where did my little placeholder go? For a belt, assuming it's a little thinner than this, that you can Velcro it or whatever and kind of have it this way or however you want it. This is how I would envision it, right? So the belt buckle will be able to look. And the reason I wanted to go this way is because the championship belt's already vertical. The mask will be over here. I think this would be a really sweet layout for an action figure. And yeah, what do you guys think? All right, so that's how I do my packaging. You can see I clear that. And then for my final backing piece, I cut it to size. I can't show you guys what I'm working on. I can, but I'm not. And then that'll be good. And then you guys can go ahead and sell it. Packaging, I mean, the packaging is you know, it's a tough thing. I think you spend some time making the packaging and the design, but if you're an artist and you take this hobby more like an art form, you're going to want to put that additional time into the packaging and then kind of your packaging and presentational layout. Keep in mind, the reason I started making packaging was because of Brian Beatty, one of my mentors when I first started customizing. He's an incredible customizer. If you guys don't know, check out Beatty's Customs. He doesn't customize like anymore, but he does the figures for the WWE Slam Crate now. He goes by Creation Crib on Instagram. Anyways, I really wanted a cool way to display my figures and to make my figures look legit and professional. And what ended up happening when I did that is that a lot of professional wrestlers started liking it because it looked legit. And that's why I do a lot of customs for professional wrestlers, because I want to give them the best product I can. Anyways, that's it. It's been a long-awaited video. Get these all on Figure Giant, and you're welcome.